Get ready because today's video is a mind bender. I'm going to show you how the right product with one simple strategy can really hit it big. Hi, I'm Jess. I've built multiple 6- and 7-figure Etsy stores in various niches, getting sales like these, and learning the ins and outs of Etsy, Amazon, and more. A wild and crazy event led me to start a totally new life traveling abroad, giving me the unique opportunity to step back, work a lot less, and start sharing all of my Etsy insights with you. So hit that subscribe button, grab a pen and paper, and let's jump in.
Hello and thanks for coming back to my channel. This video is so cool. This genius seller has really hit it big with one specific item that is literally 1 month old. And on that one item, she's made almost $20,000 with one super simple but obviously genius strategy. So this is not going to be a typical store review video because frankly, I would just be wasting your time. I'm going to focus directly in on what this seller did to really explode her sales in a major way and how you can use that same strategy to do the same thing. So let's take a quick peek at her store really briefly here. This is called Solid Rock Design Co. And it is mostly wall art, graphic art that is customized and personal to the buyer. So, very cool. But more specifically, I want to show you the listing that started it all. It is a little more than 1 month old and it is already an Etsy pick, which is insane, you guys. Super insane. Absolutely mind blowing. It is actually selling for about $15.25, and that's a sale price. And if we go down to her feedback and we look at the oldest feedback for this listing here, 63 pages of feedback. Her first feedback is April 26th of 2023. So it has literally been a month and she's got an Etsy pick. That is super crazy. So I really want to talk about her Etsy sales stats and show you guys what really sets this product apart. So first, let's take a peek at these images so you can get an idea of what it is that she's selling. This is a personalized flower bouquet graphic art. It is not a physical product, it's a digital download. And you can personalize the names, the title that you have, whether it's like Nana's Garden or Mom's Garden, etc., the months you want on them, etc. There's a lot of different options here. Going through her photos, you can see various different examples. She has all the different months here featured. And essentially, what this is you tell her the names you want on the bottom and what the birth month of each of the names is, each of the people on it. And then she puts these flowers together from here together into a bouquet like this. So it's relatively personalized, and each one is going to be different depending on the birth months of the particular people involved. Her images are really well done. She's got a great selection of examples on different mediums here, different types of frames, different names, and then a quick and easy how to order guide. And then she tells you material options. So she offers this digitally, but if you wanted to upgrade this, you could even get a physical product. So I do want to point out that the smallest one here, which is a digital 5x7 size, is $15. If you want it to be larger, like an 8x10, we're talking $30. If you want it to be a poster size, like 16x20, it jumps up to $42. And of course, if you want it framed or printed, it's going to be significantly more expensive according to the options that you choose. So this is really a hybrid type of product. But for income purposes, when I give you her stats, we are going to assume that every single customer that she has purchased the digital 5x7 cheapest option available. So you're going to get the worst case scenario of what she has made on this product because it is absolutely mind blowing. Okay, So I've already told you that it's selling for $15.25 for the cheapest version. I've already told you she has 250 reviews starting back in April 26th of this year. We're going to jump over to my handy dandy notebook here, my Etsy Seller Success Notebook, and jump to the competitor research page. Now, I actually already wrote this particular listing stats down just to save time and make this video a little bit shorter. If we take a look at the item price of $15.25 with the number of reviews she has on the product and on her shop total altogether, plus 7,800 sales in her total shop, that gives this particular listing, this one single listing, $22,000 a month for earnings. And if she maintains these sales for the rest of the year with zero growth, if it doesn't grow at all, she would make $265,000 on just this one listing in 1 year's time. Super crazy. And to get that kind of success, you really do need to have a good design idea, a good product idea, right? Your product needs to be something people are going to want to actually buy. So that brings me to my freebies. I have the perfect freebie for if you are looking for your own winning product, which helps you look on Etsy and see what's selling well and find your own epic and amazing Etsy bestseller based on what you're interested in and all that good stuff. So click the link down below. Make sure you download that. It is totally free for you to use. And by the way, while you're grabbing that freebie, please feel free to buy me a coffee because these YouTube ads really don't pay very much money, only like a few bucks here and there. So I could really use your support to keep this channel growing. Once you've downloaded that, jump back here to this video because I want to explain to you the one amazing strategy she is using to magnify the success of her store using this one amazing listing. We're going to jump to her main store page here. And I want you to look at her storefront here as I scroll down super crazy fast. She has a pretty good variety of different things that are theoretically all probably bringing in sales, right? I have this sorted to most recent. So all of these things have either sold or renewed most recently. But if I type in the birth flower, you're going to notice something crazy. She has a lot of different listings, and they are all basically this same product, right? So she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 different listings. Some of them have the bouquet all together, and some of them actually have the flowers spread out like this 19 times. So I don't necessarily know that you need to duplicate a listing 19 times, but she is getting a lot of great results out of this. If you pay close attention, you can see that all of these different listings here have a slightly different main image. They're all just a little bit different from one another. As I scroll down here, you can see that some of them have different frames, some of them have different fonts. For example, this has more of a cursive font and this has more of a printed font. There's something different about how these are put together or the flowers that are put in them so that she really can capture your attention depending on which one of these images you're going to resonate with the most. Now, what's cool about doing this is that some of these are going to be more popular than others. Some of these are going to get more attention or be more appealing in general. And some of these are just going to target different types of customers who are attracted to the different images or the different frames, even. Or, for example, this canvas version right here. She's essentially magnifying her visibility very dramatically with this strategy of duplicating the listings. Now, here's the cool part. She has managed to secure that Etsy's pick This is her actual original first listing. And believe me, I spent a lot of time digging through all of these to try to figure this out. But she also has multiple bestsellers here as well. So I did not look at all 19 listings in terms of what her sales might have looked like, but I did take a look at all of her top 7, so her Etsy's pick, and 6 bestsellers, which is pretty impressive. And I actually filled out my little um, competitor's cheat sheet here to see what kind of money she's been bringing in on this one product overall, just for these top 7 listings. Because they all have a different number of reviews, they all bring in different sales depending on how popular they are. And that's where you really start to see how some of these designs attract more people than others in general. However, if we take a look at the oldest feedback for each item, we can see her first bestseller, which is technically the Etsy's pick, came April 26th of 2023. And then at the beginning of May, she started duplicating these listings. We see one start to pop up on the 4th of May, the 5th of May, the 7th of May. 2 of them come up on the 8th of May, and one comes up on the 19th of May. Now, whether she duplicated all of these listings at once and they just started selling at different times, or she duplicated them, saw great results, and then made even more, I could not really tell you that much. But the cool thing is that amongst all of these different 7 listings, 7 out of the 19, by the way, out of these 7, she has made about a little over $24,000 so far in the last month. I do want to point out that all of these are less than a month old. So she's taken this one winning idea and turned it into a $25,000 a month generator. That is really, really cool. Now, there are other perks to duplicating your designs like this and creating them with different images. And I do want to point those out as well. If we take a look at the Etsy's pick, take a peek at this title. So it says birth flower bouquet, personalized gift, custom printable gift, and it goes on from there. Let's look at this one. This one actually says birth month flower print, personalized garden print, family birth flower, and then it goes on from there. So it's different. If we click on this one, it's a little bit different. And you can see that she's kind of changed things up. Some of these will have similar titles as others, and some of them she's changed things up a little bit. So this one, for example, has no commas or anything like that. This one has commas separating the terms, and there is no space here, just a comma. So it looks like she was really trying to cram these in. There's commas between the first couple, and then she just straight took those commas out as she ran out of space to get those keywords in there. So she's utilizing a little bit of a variable keyword strategy here. So she's changing on these listings here, not just the main images, but minor alterations to the title as well. You can also, when you utilize a strategy like this, use different tags and really test out a lot of different tags and see which tags resonate better in the search results than others. That is another great perk to using this strategy. Going back to that concept of the different images, because I don't think I mentioned this before, I do want to point out that some of these say mom, some of these say nana, some of these say grandma. So there's really a variety of different names. And of course, whatever your family in particular might call the grandmother figure of your family, you're probably going to be visually attracted to whichever one of these frames has that name in it. So she's really specifically targeting your personal family name. So I did want to make sure to point that out. Now, the next perk, the next big benefit of utilizing a strategy like this is that she is literally flooding the marketplace. So while that is super annoying for the rest of us Etsy sellers, it's actually really clever for store growth. So when someone is searching for a Mother's Day gift or a birthday present for grandma, her stuff is going to pop up over and over again in the search results. And because they all have a different amount of sales and slightly different titles and tags and main images, they're going to show up at different places throughout the search results feed because they're going to be ranked a little bit different by the algorithm. So that is also really clever because as people are searching and they're scrolling down, they're going to see one of these listings every row or every couple of rows throughout their search. So she's giving herself a lot of visibility with this strategy. This is actually one of my favorite strategies as an Etsy seller to employ, and I really don't think I've talked about it in depth in a video. I have touched on it in different videos when I see sellers doing this, but this has been such a flawless execution of the strategy that I really wanted to point it out specifically. So, if you have the type of product that can sell more than one, so it's not a one of a kind product or something handmade that's slightly different every time you make it, if you can sell more than one, you can take advantage of this strategy. You can duplicate your listing, use different main images, change your keywords, move your title around a little bit, and really have a massive impact on your store growth. So, what do you think? This might be a little controversial for some. Do you think that this is misleading or do you think that this is smart? Comment your opinion below. So, obviously, with a strategy like this, she has the potential, she's built the potential for a $300,000 a year income on just this particular design and the strategy of listing this repeatedly. However, before you get super excited and jump in here and say, you know what, that's obviously selling like hotcakes, I'm going to make my own version of this product and I'm going to sell it too. I do want to point out something really quickly that you should be aware of. So if I go up to the top of this bestseller here, you can see that there are actually a lot of people who have already duplicated this idea. And if you see, this one is so the store we're reviewing is Solid Rock Design Co. This one is by Framed Wall Design. This one is by Artsy Closet. This one is by Pop of Ink. This one is by Allison Griffin Design. This one is by Sweet and Sandy. These are all the same. If you want to duplicate her kind of results, or if you see a best-selling product and you think that you want to enter that niche with your own version, you do not want to just directly duplicate what they are doing. These are so similar in design. That being said, this listing is a bit different. So as you can see, the style of flowers is different, but surprisingly, this is actually one that you can edit yourself. It is not a personalized product that is made by the artist, by the Etsy seller. It's something that you download and you personalize it yourself. Just like this, and this particular seller uses cordials. So she has taken something and made it unique. And as you can see, the art style on the flowers is slightly different as well. She's not using those same flowers that the other sellers have used. So it was actually pretty clever that she has made such a change. And when we click on hers, we can see slightly different variations that other sellers have created as well. So for example, this one is a lot different, same concept, also a bestseller because the art is slightly different. So I just wanted to point that out that if you are going to brainstorm and do competitor research and find a best-selling item, a best-selling product, you do not want to duplicate it too exactly. You do not want to, even in terms of like how all of these sellers have it here, where it's pretty spot on duplicated. You want it to be your own. You want to add something unique to the space. You don't want to copy what other people are doing because you're already going to be competing against them to begin with. And it's going to be almost impossible for you to outrank an existing bestseller with that same type of product. So you have to add something unique to that product. You have to make it special in some way. You have to get the buyer's attention to make yours stand out against theirs so that yours can start ranking up each time it sells. It will get higher and higher in the search rankings. So, for example, if you like this style, every time someone buys this, it's going to move up in the search rankings and it could eventually surpass this Etsy's pick version, depending on how popular people like one art style over another. But that's the beauty of selling on Etsy is that we all have our own unique ideas. So definitely make sure to keep that in mind when you are creating your products and think about how you can make something unique or how you can add a benefit or a perk or a feature that didn't already exist in the current bestseller. So, if you think the store is clever, you should see these twin sister stores that have banked over $400,000 a year on their digital party designs. You can check that out next.